Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche here. So this is one of those kind of important videos that will save people a lot of headache down the road. The instrument on the bench here is a 59 Les Paul by Epiphone, which has Burstbuckers in it. The neck pickup is a Burstbucker 2, the bridge pickup is a Burstbucker 3. The Burstbucker 3 is going to be a little hotter. And the person that owns this guitar was saying that some time under warranty, having some service done to it, and the pickup replaced. I really hate to do this kind of stuff, but you gotta know. He got the guitar back, and the output was not what he expected. It wasn't performing properly. I've come across this problem before, and what is happening is these pickups are not using the best quality braided wire, okay? And it really comes down to that. What's happening is the old school pickups used to have an insulator wrap around the signal core. You had the core, you had an insulation layer, you had the fiber or the cloth layer around that, and then the negative braid around that. What they have done, for whatever reason, is there is no insulator core to this. So I discussed this problem because I have some experience with it. With the client, and this is the first thing that came to mind, because I've seen this and I've heard this before, and it's a shame, it really is, but there is a way around it. So there is a cure. But I want to make a point of something. When I measured it before doing anything, the bridge was measuring 8.32 K on the output, and the neck was 7.89. So you would think that that's in range, but when I was listening to it, it wasn't keeping up. The bridge pickup just simply wasn't keeping up. So now that I have it free of the contacts or the soldering, I cut it back. I cut about, a little bit. I got rid of all the garbage on the end that could be suspect from the problem. And to explain this properly, if you strip the core back, the braiding back, and just leave it, and strip the end, as most people would do, you can connect the core wire, the signal wire, no problem. But what happens is, the braid, when you hit that with heat and solder, it creates a capacitance between the outer ground and the core wire, which ultimately acts, it just sucks the volume right out of the pickup. It's like putting a sock on it. And who wants a sock on their tone? Really? Come on. Anyway, so now that I have this free, okay, there's our negative. Okay, we'll prove that we got a zero connection there. It's set on 20K range. 8.61 from 8.32. It doesn't sound like much, but we just took the condom off. That's the best way to describe it, put it back to what it should be, get this puppy rolling. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to painstakingly strip back the braiding. I got a little pointed jeweler's screw here with a sharp point on it, and I'm just literally going to go poke, 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 till I get a safety zone here between the braid and the core, and I will put a heat sink on the braided part when I go to solder it to the back of the pot here. Okay, not only that, I'm going to put an insulator on here. I'm not going to touch the neck because it's working fine, and I don't want to disturb that, but I will put an insulator on that. And once that's all done, we'll have a go at it and see what the results are. Anyway, I did test it beforehand, so I know that this is the correct resolution to the problem. All I did was just strip the braiding. I had it previously stripped back like I explained, and very, very lightly tack the positive and negative braiding terminal to the back of the pot, and positive, as I said, and just tested the output. Bob's your uncle, night and day. It was not a problem. So proof in concept, proof in the logic behind it, and there you go. If you're installing these newer production pickups from the G brand with this kind of braiding on them, if you're going to change these pickups, be very careful about your heat and how you attach them, because they will go sour in a heartbeat. Anyway, we'll be back in a moment to see how this turned out. Okay, so we got things connected, and the process was painstaking. It took a few minutes to really get the braiding pulled back long enough from the core to create a safe connection. And I attached the positive to the lug on the pot, and then carefully attached the negative to the back of the pot. I kept an significant amount of length negative contact there, and I made sure that it never got really hot. And the end result is, if I measure it, treble pickup 844. Now that's not 860, which it was, but the little degradation there will it's the circuitry and stuff like that. Whereas our neck pickup, which is 795 or so, it's within tolerance. What I did was set the pickups equidistant from the strings. As far as balance goes, everything was going to be copacetic. And if we go from, there's our neck, and there's our bridge. And very equal, very, very equal. So there you go. And you'll also notice that I put the insulation on this lead. The lesson here is that the new braids on the modern recreation pickups, they're not what they should be. I apologize on behalf of the companies putting this stuff out, but be warned. And if you have to go through this, make sure that you take precautions to get around these issues of stolen tone. Okay, anyway, signing off. Hope you got something out of that, and as always, play loud, have fun, have a great day. Read the descriptions below, lots of free infos and stuff like that. Anyway, signing off. Take care. Bye.